Coming up, 2 satellites crash, go boom, make bad. Iran has put a satellite into space, now a man in.
The Epoch Times newspaper has uncovered more evidence that the video of China's first spacewalk was a hoax.
All that and a whole lot more coming up on this aquatacular, Twitterific version of Spacevidcast for February 13th, 2009. Welcome to Spacevidcast, episode 205 for February 13th, 2009. My name is Benjamin Higginbotham. With me is the beautiful, lovely, talented, and incredible Carrie Ann Higginbotham. I said incredible this week instead of Ben credible.
Instead of uncredible.
Unobtainiumable. I don't know what that means.
Unobtainable? Unobtainiumable?
Unobtainiumable. Actually, just as an aside, if you guys go to the Spacevidcast PayPal donation page, you can donate, recurring, like $5, $10, and each level has a name, like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, but I needed another metal and I had run out, so the highest level is called unobtainium. I laughed heartily when I wrote that in there.
Yeah, if you guys don't get the joke, that's just too bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, I believe Gonzo, you still need to see that movie.
So, we are broadcasting live from...
This is the Minneapolis Twestival. And Twestival, it's going around all over the world right now. Of course, some of you are seeing this on demand, so it happened already. But the whole concept is trying to get fresh, clean water to those people who don't have any. And I'm not talking about people who are on farms in the middle of Iowa. I'm talking about people who are like in Africa, women who walk miles and miles and miles every single day just to get some clean water, and it's not even really all that clean. It's actually quite disgusting, and it's one of the biggest killers out there. It's really quite sad. And so this is a Twestival that's going on in Minneapolis right now, and you can donate to the cause. You can hit up twestival.com, Twestival.com. Please, please, please donate. The cause is really, really important, and honestly, we can't figure out this water thing here down on Earth. How are we ever going to figure it out up there?
Absolutely. Here's a quick video.
Hey, I'm Scott Harrison, the founder of Charity Water. We're so excited that 185 cities have now come together around the world for the Twestival. 185 cities for the billion people without clean and safe drinking water. Twestival organizers have recently announced a goal of raising $1 million. If successful, that money could help bring clean water to 200 communities and help more than 80,000 people. But what does 80,000 people look like? Imagine 160 jumbo jets full of people, 4 Madison Square Gardens packed to capacity, the Queen Mary 2 filled 22 times over. Because Charity Water's administrative costs are covered by private donors and our board members, 100% of all the money we raise publicly goes directly to fund the water projects. Now, we partner with on-the-ground organizations to get the work done. In 2.5 years, we funded more than 1,260 projects in 14 developing nations. Dirty water and a lack of sanitation are responsible for 80% of disease on this planet. And we recently just traveled to Ethiopia, and what we saw continues to break our heart. We saw kids and cows sharing the same muddy water sources. We talked to women who travel 3 hours a day, breaking their backs to get water with leeches in it. We saw teenage girls that dropped out of school to help their mothers fetch water. For about $20 a person, we can build wells and bring clean and safe drinking water into these communities. Water is the most basic need. It's a starting point for health, education, for future. I mean, imagine finding 3 extra hours every day to be a better parent, to start a small business. I mean, imagine having healthy kids and no longer having to spend all your money on medicine. Imagine having clean water nearby to nourish your family, to wash your clothes. To close, we want to tell you a story. 8 months ago, we found a school called Abanea. It was a heartbreaking place. 1,400 kids went to school there, and they had no clean water. Now, the kids, they brought their water from home, and it came from polluted sources like this. Through small donations from people all over the world, we were able to drill a deep freshwater well at Abanea in September. We shot daily videos of the drilling, and we sent it via satellite to all the people who made it possible. The community was heavily involved, and with just a few skilled laborers and many locals volunteering their time to help carry sand, gravel, and cement, the well was complete just in enough time for the kids to go back to school. Please come out and support the Twestival and help us meet this $1 million goal so we can bring water to 200 communities just like Abinea. We're heading back to Africa in April, and we will again drill a well and show you just what your money is doing.
So definitely a good cause, and you can go to Twestival.com, figure out how to donate. You know, every little bit helps, even $1, you know, 50 cents, whatever.
Yeah, I think in the video they mentioned $20, and 20 cents helps. Just anything you can. It's really sad that these people are dying of something that's just so stupid, honestly.
Yep. Now, it's Thursday in the U.S. at least, and Thursday's no meat day because that's the that's the day I've set aside to prepare myself.
Ourselves for space.
We're going into space and traveling out there because you're not going to have meat in space. So eventually, I got to get to 7 days a week.
Quick shout out, Mom Dog. You won't even believe it. I cooked for Ben.
Wow, and no meat. I did do it, no meat.
That's right.
But now
made a marinara sauce.
Not having any meat is hard enough. Now imagine not having any water or clean water.
Ridiculous.
For a week or a month or ever.
Totally ridiculous.
That would just, I don't even want to think about that.
I think the stat is 1 out of every 6 people, although that was probably in the video, but yeah, 1 out of every 6 people doesn't have clean water.
Yep, so definitely make that happen. So let's go ahead and let's get started with some space news.
Space news.
Open. Well, we're on site, so we don't have the cool, all the cool gear that we normally would have. Starting, 2 satellites crash go boom.
Satellites don't crash and go boom.
Satellites, in fact, do not crash and go boom. But as you saw kind of in the opening and this conveniently edited in image that you're seeing right now,
there's a lot of crap up there in space. And like I said, you look up in the sky and you see clearness, hopefully on a non-cloudy day, and you kind of go, wow, there's so much space up there in space. And there isn't. There really, really isn't. There's a lot of stuff up there.
And for the first time, excuse me, I'm so verklempt.
Apparently, a Russian satellite and an American satellite, boom, crash, go boom, just like Ben said.
There is good news. The Russian satellite.
Actually, we haven't been working for like the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
So they don't really care.
Space junk. Yeah, they're like, nah. And then U.S. satellite, I think that actually was an operating satellite, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a private satellite, so I'm not really sure what the government's going to do about that, if anything, if they're going to try and burst them for it, or, maybe bring up another satellite when STS-119 goes up, or, whatever. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. The big concern right now is the space junk, the collision, of course, hundreds of thousands of pieces are anywhere and everywhere, and they're moving quite fast. And much like the geese took down the plane that Sully was doing, driving.
Imagine these, like, millions of geese traveling at 20,000 miles an hour.
And we do not want that stuff to hit the ISS. Thankfully, though, there are people on the ISS. They can maneuver, their orbit a little bit around some stuff. So hopefully there won't be anything going on with that. Maybe we'll just have Dexter catch the pieces and throw them away. Right, that's the idea, right? That would work.
Absolutely. So speaking of satellites, Iran just recently launched a satellite into space. We covered that last week.
Yep.
But now they're looking to put a man into space.
Right. Well, the thing is, it's within the next 12 years. So at least they've got a good head on their shoulders for the most part and are projecting. They're not saying, me put satellite in space, me now Russia, me now USA. Like, they're really thinking about it and projecting out that within the next 12 years they want to put man into space.
And we talked about this earlier. Iran scares me a little bit because I'm not sure what their motives are.
Space terrorism, apparently.
Well, there's a possibility. It just takes one crazy person to make that whole thing not good. Their intent could be good. Their intent could be to further humanity and get more spacefaring nations and to turn us into a space-based civilization.
But there's policies, non-nuclear, non-weaponized space, stuff like that.
It's a policy, but I mean, enforce that.
I guess.
Yeah, if you've got the rocket,
like that.
Fine. So yeah, I mean, it just, it scares me a little bit. OMS, yes, 911. So we'll watch that, and I guess we'll just see what happens.
See what happens with that.
Yep. And then China, there's a lot of internet hubbub going around. Check out this video.
神舟7号请讲。
仪表显示轨道舱火灾，注意检查。 Okay, great. I'm gonna go to the back here for Leland and I. Up to clearance.
To grasp the tongue of that ring and...
左转连麦。
Bubble! Bubble! Earth's not moving! Bubble!
How about
Bubble!
lights? I see lights.
Yep.
I see stadium lights. The kind of lights that I wouldn't have on my little shuttle. Just saying. Just saying. Now, of course, again, and I will put as many links as I can in the show notes because there's a lot of reasoning for the idea that they did fake it, and there's a lot of more other reasonings for that they didn't fake it. You know, like, why would they fake it? I mean, who really cares anyway? But at the same time, you know, keep in mind, this is after the Olympics when there was the whole debacle about like the 12-year-old girls who supposedly were 16 and 17, right? And they totally screwed that up. I mean, that was in the video. And right around the same time... How
that relates to space, I don't know.
Just the idea that, sort of like you always say, the devil's in the details, right?
Yeah.
They were clumsy enough to not cover that up, to not take down that information. Maybe they really were clumsy enough to make a really bad EVA video. The other thing like that was going on at the time, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a tainted milk issue that was going around. And so really, what China needed at the time was some positive news coming out of there. You know, that they did something that good and positive, and one of the ideas behind the why would they even do it at all is because they were the third people to put humans or to do an EVA, right?
Third country, yep.
Right. So I mean that's kind of a big deal.
No, it absolutely is. I'm 50-50. I'm normally not big into the conspiracy thing, right?
Right.
But you know, I do work in video, and I can tell you they can absolutely color correct that out. They can absolutely blacken out the background. They can go into a pool and do exactly what they said the video said they did. Now the question is, did they? Because at the same time, while it's very technically possible to do that very easily, actually, very easy to fake it. At the same time, a lot of debris flies away from the space shuttles, and you can see those in the videos. And that debris looks eerily similar to the bubbles that we see, or what they claim to be bubbles.
The thing is, it's not really a high-res version, so there really isn't any way to kind of go over that. It seems to me that it would be just as easy to fake the faked video. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm hurting from the head now. Fake the fake video.
Yeah. Like put a different image in the mirror.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, like spoof the fake video.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Make it look like So I really don't know. I'm 50. I'm split right down the middle. You know, so there are those who say no, they definitely did it. There are those who say I don't think they did it. I'm not convinced either way. It's possible they did it. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's also possible that they lied to us. They've done it before.
Yeah, you know, China will do what China wants to do, no matter what.
So when we come back, we're going to be talking about humans versus robots in space exploration. Oh, I got to be like robots in space. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and just a reminder, we are broadcasting live from the Twitter, or the
Twestival. You can go to twitter.com/Twestival to get some information, or you can just go to Twestival.com. A lot more information there. There's tons of videos like the one you saw earlier. Just a couple more of that. There's some eBay auctions going on. There's like you can get a autographed iPod from iJustine. You can have a lunch with Shankman. You can have a video going on during Twitch and stuff like that. But the big deal is that all of the money is going directly towards the cause, which is charity water. And like I said before, that's to bring clean water to as many people as possible.
And to put yourself in their shoes for a week, try drinking nothing but dirty water. Just a week. I mean, they have to do it for a good chunk of their lifetime, but you try it just for a week, and then think, maybe that $1, that $20, not that bad. That's
money that you spend on bottled water, you could probably donate to this cause. Drink your tap water because it's also not dirty. Do it that way.
And actually, shout out to Discovery Channel. I've been watching a couple of shows on Discovery Channel about drinking water and whatnot, and Brink just had an episode that showed a powder you can, from Pure, I think it is, you can put in there, stir it around, and it takes all the goop out. It was amazing.
Yeah, it doesn't eliminate the goop, but it kind of solidifies it so that you can get it out of there and have clean drinking water. This is kind of in conjunction with that to a certain extent, because that's a lot of places for where they have water, but they don't have a well or something like this. This is also giving them a well. So places where you can't have a well, but you have water, the Pure thing works really good for that. And then this is for places where you can actually drill a well. It only takes a couple of days. Well, I mean, that was all in the video. So anyway, it's a really, really great cause, and we really believe in it. And we're at a really great bar. It's the only place that brews their own sake outside of Japan.
We got some sake sitting right over here.
Yeah, and which amazingly looks like clean water. Anyway, so
humans versus robots. Humans or robots?
I believe in Wall-E.
Wall-E.
If all the robots could be Wall-E, if they could be Eve, then I'm all over it.
I think really what this topic comes down to is my disappointment in a lot of the space agencies in putting humans on these different alien bodies, like putting humans back. We haven't been back to the moon for 40 years.
Right.
We're not going to be on Mars for another 20 at the soonest. And really, I only see NASA doing this. I don't see JAXA making an effort to put humans out there. I don't see the ESA making a huge effort to do that. I don't even see privatized space travel. Looking at GLXP, they're putting rovers on the moon. They're all doing robots. Everyone's like, do the robots.
Well, first of all, for GLXP, it's got to be a hell of a lot easier to do it that way.
That's true. I'm not slamming GLXP. Baby steps, right? I mean, you can't just be like, all right, we're going to have an X Prize for the first person who put someone on Pluto.
Woohoo!
No one's going to do that. That's just insane. So clearly, the rovers are a first step, but where's the next step? Where's the privatized companies trying to do this?
Well, I think there are privatized companies that are doing it, but the problem is it's a money issue. There's 4 frontiers. There's the Office of Tomorrow's Mars. Their end goal is to get humans onto the moon and onto Mars and build colonies, not just, tag you're it, great, we did it, right. BFD. I mean, no offense, but there is the place for both. I think. What was the MALP thing on Stargate?
Yep.
Right. They would gate to another world, and they're like, I don't know what's going on over there. Let's set the MALP. Little, Wall-E kind of thing goes in, looks around. Okay, it's clear, and then they go.
Well, with the exception of the idea that we don't have Stargate technology
yet.
I mean,
but the concept is still the same.
But haven't we sent our MALPs to Mars already? We've got the 2 rovers on there. We've got the lander
we have, but honestly, if you really look at the space, which thanks to Google Earth/Mars, you can, the space that has been covered really isn't that big. I mean, it's like not even Texas. Like, it's ridiculous how small of an area we really have looked at.
But think about what we'd be able to do if we put humans on Mars. Think about how much more stuff we'd be able to explore much faster with the aid of robots.
I agree. I agree. I mean, I'm not, I can't really argue for one or the other. I think they really need to be done in conjunction, and I think it's really important. I think it's really important that we're doing any of it at all, honestly.
Ed linked to gateworld.net, the MALP page on Gateworld. Thanks for that,
Ed.
That's fantastic. I don't know. The problem is that humans are ultimately very, very, very frail. And so there's something to be said for not taking the risk. Robots can gather the data. They can get the infrared images.
Yeah, but you know what? There are people who are out there who are willing to take that risk. You know, the first astronauts full well freaking knew what was. I mean, they didn't know exactly what what to expect, but they knew that they could die, and they were willing to do it. And I think that it takes a certain person to do that, but yet at the same time, as long as there's people out there who are willing to do it, we should have the resources to be able to let them to do it.
You know, I agree. The problem with this particular main topic is that we both agree, and so I'm trying to play devil's advocate as best I can.
I know. I'm
but
sorry.
Fundamentally, it's just something that I think we both strongly believe we need to do. Now, I would pose the question to the chat room. We're watching you guys live, and you can always answer on demand at spacevidcast.com. Why haven't we been sending humans back out into space? Obviously, there's a fear factor to it and a cost factor.
Well, we've got LEO, we've got the ISS.
I'm sorry?
We have LEO and the ISS.
That's all we have.
Right, but we're sending people into space.
Well, yeah, but we're not going to the moon. We're not going on to Mars. NASA's kind of, sort of, kind of trying to do it.
So, okay. I got it. Ready?
All right, go.
Ready? Okay, first, step one.
Collect underpants.
No.
Oh, no.
Step one. Donate money to Twestival.com. It's actually clean, or it's called Charity Water. You can actually Google Charity Water, or you can go to, I believe it's just charitywater.com as well. So donate money there. We'll fix this water problem. We'll get that done. Step two. Donate to Spacevidcast. Step three.
Well, yeah, actually, you can do that. Go to spacevidcast.com, scroll to the bottom, there's a donation page, and go for the unobtainium. Go to unobtainium package.
Because really, who doesn't want to be an unobtainium?
Step three.
Step three, Spacevidcast Lunar X Prize.
That would be awesome.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. The
SVCLXP.
Yeah, absolutely. The Spacevidcast X Prize. Wow.
Right?
Yeah, that's not gonna. I mean,
SVCLXP.
And our X Prize will be, $50 million to whoever puts 10 humans on the moon and has them stay there for a week.
There you go.
Or something like that.
That works for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although, we really should. I don't know if I really want to bring this up, but we're not going to get to broadcast in space first.
So, we're pretty much done. I mean, we're moving on, I assume, at this point.
Yeah, sorry.
Humans versus robots. Let us know what you think in our comments. You guys have been doing a fantastic job commenting. Clearly there's something that's stopping us from putting humans into space. There is money, it's politics, it's whatever it is. Voice your opinion and help us figure out what we can do to get over that. Not just NASA's Constellation program, but privatized space. All space programs. What can we do to incentivize these guys to put humans, I mean, I keep saying into space, we put humans into space, but put humans on the moon and on to Mars and on and beyond. I'd say Saturn, but I believe Saturn's a gas giant, and that would be painful.
That would be, yeah,
crush
that'd be weird.
Crush you.
What,
But, one of the things we've wanted to do since the beginning is, since episode 1, we've said we want to broadcast live from space. We want to be from launch to land, live and archive it and give you guys the experience and make it something that everyone can do and just be really cool. That was step 1. Who's going to beat us to that?
Well, on a good note, it's probably not going to be NASA Edge.
Our arch nemesis.
On a bad note, see, there's this really cool show. It goes on in England, but it's very popular around the world. You can find it on BBC America. You can find it on BBC. You can probably find it on iTunes. I'm sure there's 1,000 places you can find Top Gear. In fact, I'm sure a lot of you have even heard of Top Gear. It's a show. It's mostly about cars for the most part.
So you can see where they'd want to take a rocket trip.
No.
Yeah, me neither.
But the thing is that they're in England, and they know Richard Branson. We don't know Richard Branson.
No.
We know Mike.
Now, Mike is awesome.
Mike is awesome, but we know Mike from X Prize Foundation.
But Richard Branson owns a space tourism company that's sending people into outer space.
Yeah, maybe you've heard of that. It's called Virgin Galactic?
Yeah. So Top Gear is going to be taking a trip and recording it on Virgin Galactic and sending the Top Gear guys into space, possibly before we go up. So we need to, if anyone out there knows Richard Branson and can hook us up, we will promote the bejeebers out of this thing.
No. Why are we kowtowing to Richard Branson? No offense. I mean, love Richard Branson, but screw Richard Branson, okay?
SpaceX.
Elon, come on, baby. Come on.
Oh, no, that's a good idea.
Right?
SpaceX.
You pit them against each other, right?
No. SpaceX, the Dragon module.
Oh, the Dragon module.
On a Falcon 9. I've got a giant dragon tattoo right here. See? Dragon all pepped for SpaceX.
Okay.
Dragon module, Falcon 9, dock with the ISS, and we can broadcast for a week from the ISS.
Okay, so step 1. Donate to clear charity water. Fix the water problem. Step 2.
Collect underpants.
No. Step 2. Donate to Spacevidcast. Step 3. Help us get into LEO. Help us do that. Help us broadcast. I swear to you, I will read every single person's name who makes any sort of donation to help us get there, which means I'll be talking a whole lot, but I do that anyway, so it's okay. And then step 4 is a Spacevidcast Lunar X Prize. Right?
Yes.
All right. Cool. That was easy.
Absolutely. So that is our show for this week. Definitely, like we've been mentioning.
Step 5, profit.
Yeah. What is that, a Simpsons episode?
Yeah. No. That's a South Park.
South Park episode, yeah. The Underpants Gnomes, I believe it was.
Yes.
So definitely help out the clean water situation. Help out Spacevidcast and do cool things, comment on the video, be awesome people. That's generally my closing. Join us live next week. You can join us at every Friday, 2 o'clock a.m., Coordinated Universal Time, right here at spacevidcast.com. If you live in the United States, because I know no one in the U.S. can do any time zone conversion whatsoever, 7 o'clock p.m. Thursdays, 6 o'clock p.m. Thursdays, excuse me.
We still don't know what time it is.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Figure it out yourself. You know what? Go to Zazzle.com/SpaceVidcast. Figure out what your offset is. Get yourself a shirt and wear it every single time you watch Spacevidcast, and then you'll go, oh, that's right, I'm a -6.
That's a good point. We do have a merchandise store, so you can buy all your Spacevidcast merchandise, shirts, hats, skateboards, shoes, I don't know.
I haven't done shoes yet. Keychains. Stickers.
What? And Crow River Coffee as well. Coffee of the month is still French roasts.
Because it's still February.
It's still February, so definitely crowrivercoffee.com. Order that. Get your stickers. Get your wares. Buy lots of stuff. Help the economy. Help the economy.
How many things can you do at once? This is amazing. You can help the economy, help Spacevidcast, help Crow River Coffee.
And you can be hopped up on caffeine while you do it.
I know!
All right, join us next week. Thank you for watching. Comment. Here are some credits. Credits.
Oh my God. Credits. So sorry, you guys. Oh, I'm still working on it.
No. Credits are still rolling.